Hi, my name is Makayla Skinner, and this is my presentation for English 1102, and the novel I read was Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. So the novel starts off how Janie is living with her grandmother, and her grandmother caught her kissing this boy over the fence, and she did not approve of that. So she set up an arranged marriage for Janie, and the grandmother wanted her to marry Logan Kellex. And he was very put together, and he knew what he was doing. He had a lot of land. He came from a very good family, so Grandma thought this was the best person for Janie to marry. And they didn't argue that much overall, but Logan made Janie work a lot. He wanted her to do his chores too, and he kind of thought he was in control of her in a sense. And so Logan had this bright idea that he was going to go to town to get a mule so Janie could help him do all the outside work. And back in that time, women would only do the inside work, like cleaning and the chores. So Logan went to go get a mule, and when he left, the man by the name of Jody Starks came along. So this is a picture of Jody, or Joe, and Janie. And when they were gone, when Logan went to go get the mule, Jody came in and asked for a glass of water because he had been on a long trip. So they started talking, and Janie gave him water, and he convinced Janie to run off with him to start a town called Eatonville. And once they got there and they got settled down, he decided to build a general store so Janie could work there and they would be well known in the town because he was the mayor. And he made Janie work all the time. He thought he was the boss of her just because he was the mayor of the town, and she didn't really like that, but she did what she was told. And for example, oh, never mind, it's not on there. But they had a mule, and the mule died, so everyone in the town was going to like the funeral in a sense, and he would not let Janie go. She wanted to, but didn't. And then there was another time, and they had a baseball game, and Joe refused to let her go and have fun with the rest of the town. And so he didn't treat Janie the best overall, and occasionally he would beat her, and everyone would see. And they were really shocked, but Janie didn't really say much, and she didn't argue back to Joe just because she didn't want to get in trouble. So all of a sudden, Jody got very sick, and Janie was trying to comfort him while he was basically dying in the bed, and he didn't want anything to do with her. He was yelling at her to get out. He was like, "I hate you, please leave. I want nothing to do with you." So not long after Joe died, a man, this is Tea Cake, and he met Janie outside of the general store that she was still working at. And he was a lot younger than her, and he was like, "Oh, I'm in love with you." And she was like, "You don't know what real love is." But they went on lots of adventures together. He took her fishing, and they made a bunch of food together. They were cooking, and so they went on a lot of adventures. And they finally decided to settle down in their own place. Well, then they heard that a hurricane was going to come. So everyone else in the town decided to leave and go find better shelter because the town wasn't the best place for a hurricane. And so they all decided to go find better shelter, but Tea Cake and Janie decided they would wait the storm out and see what happened. Well, their house was destroyed by the hurricane, and while they were trying to swim away, there was a mad dog, and Janie almost got bit by it, but Tea Cake decided to save Janie and said he got bit by the dog. And so they figured out, Tea Cake started acting really weird after he got bit by the dog because it had rabies. And he would go get a drink of water, and it would taste fine to Janie, and he would complain about it and how he could barely swallow it because he was choking on it and how something was wrong with it. So Janie decided to call the doctor, and he was like, "Hey, Tea Cake won't make it much longer because he doesn't have the vaccine for rabies." And so Janie was like, "Oh, okay." And Tea Cake got mad because Janie wasn't sleeping with him in the bed anymore. And so he went out to go shower, and Janie found a gun under his pillow that was loaded. And so Janie tried to get as many bullets out as was found under Tea Cake's pillow by Janie, and she tried to unload all the bullets before he came back in from his shower, but she couldn't, and there were still 1 or 2 bullets left in there. And so he found out something wasn't right, so he pulled out the gun. Well, Janie didn't know how many shots was left until the bullets actually started coming out. Well, Tea Cake just kept shooting, because he was really angry, and Janie was really scared because, like I said, she didn't know until how many bullets came out. And finally, she knew that that was one last clip because she had remembered how many bullets she had taken out. And all of a sudden, she gets the gun and points it up. And so it goes to the ceiling so it doesn't shoot him or her. Well, then Tea Cake dies because of the reaction that was left. So, and he died because of the rabies that he had. And these are my sources that I used for my presentation.